While it's true that Robert E. Howard is considered the father of sword and sorcery and will forever be remembered for Conan the Barbarian, it is also true that it was Fritz Leiber who carried the torch for this fantasy subgenre after Howard's death in 1936, with a series of short stories and novellas about the unforgettable duo Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser. Fafhrd is a northern barbarian, almost 7 feet tall, a skilled swordsman with a love of singing. The Grey Mouser is a 5-foot-tall thief, deadly with a sword in one hand and a long dagger in the other, who dabbles in magic. Both are rogues living in a decadent world where only the ruthless and cynical survive. They spend their time drinking, wenching, brawling, stealing and gambling, and are seldom fussy about who hires their swords. The majority of the stories are set in the fictional world of Naywon, in and around its greatest city, Lankhmar, which in Lieber's own words crouches at the silty mouth of the river Hlal in a secure corner between the grain fields, the great salt marsh and the inner sea, a massive walled and mazy alleyed metropolis, thick with thieves and shaven priests, lean-framed magicians and fat-bellied merchants. Lankhmar the imperishable, the city of the black toga. Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser are often at the beck and call of two sorcerers, Ningalbul of the Seven Eyes and Shilba of the Eyeless Face, who send them on some of their most dangerous missions, such as recovering the Mask of Death or stealing stars from the highest mountain. What I admire most about Lieber is that he was writing largely from scratch. The likes of Moorcock, Gemmell, Ericsson, George R.R. Martin and other giants in the field were in many cases not even born when he was first published. Lieber's inspirations or influences were Robert E. Howard, H.P. Lovecraft and Edgar Rice Burroughs. And while some of the work of Lovecraft, and Burroughs especially, has dated, Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser, as written by Lieber, are as fresh and up-to-date as if they were penned yesterday. This could be in part because one of his motives in writing them was to have a couple of fantasy heroes closer to true human nature, less black and white in character than the likes of Howard's Conan or Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan. Much in the same way as Moorcock later wrote his albino anti-hero Elric as a reaction to Tolkien's more noble heroes in Lord of the Rings. From 1939 until the late 1980s, Lieber continued to write stories about these two anti-heroes. They've been forgotten or overlooked by many in the 21st century, but are still available to read. The stories have now been collected into 2 volumes in the Fantasy Masterworks series, the first book of Lankhmar and the second book of Lankhmar. Because most of them are short stories or novellas, you can dip in and out of these 2 volumes at your leisure. Thoroughly recommended nighttime reading. Well, that's all for this episode. If you like these podcasts and find them useful, please follow or subscribe and share them with your friends. If you want to help with the cost of making them, you can buy me a cup of coffee.